A tiny baby polar bear was lost in the middle of a violent Arctic storm. Drifting alone on a small piece of ice, the frightened cub cried for its mother. The fragile ice began to crack, and every second brought the cub closer to danger. Suddenly, the little bear slipped toward the freezing ocean with no way to escape. Just then, a brave white stickman rushed across the frozen sea and reached out his hand. With all his strength, he grabbed the tiny cub before it disappeared into the icy water. Moments later, the baby polar bear was finally pulled onto safe ice. Shivering with fear, the grateful cub leaned against its brave rescuer. The stickman wrapped the little bear in a warm blanket, protecting it from the freezing cold. As the storm cleared, fresh polar bear footprints appeared in the snow, giving them new hope of finding the cub's mother. With new hope in their hearts, the brave stickman and the little polar bear followed the fresh footprints across the endless Arctic. Together, they carefully crossed a dangerous frozen ice bridge, knowing one wrong step could be their last. The giant footprints continued through the snow, and a mysterious shadow appeared far beyond the towering iceberg. As the floating ice drifted apart, the stickman guided the frightened cubs safely across the dangerous path. When the gap became too wide, the brave hero gently carried the little polar bear to safety. From the top of a snowy ridge, they spotted a distant polar bear standing silently on the frozen horizon. The baby polar bear's heart raced with hope as it hurried toward the familiar figure, while the stickman stayed close behind. The little cub cried out with all its strength, and the distant polar bear suddenly turned around. Without hesitation, the mother polar bear ran across the snow as her baby rushed toward her with tears of joy. Finally, mother and cub embraced once again. Watching the reunion with a quiet smile, the brave stickman knew that every risk had been worth it. The grateful mother lowered her head, silently thanking the brave hero who had saved her precious cub. Together, they walked peacefully across the frozen Arctic, enjoying a moment they would never forget. Suddenly, the little polar bear spotted a frightened baby seal trapped inside a crack in the ice. Without hesitation, the stickman carefully rescued the helpless seal and lifted it safely onto the ice. Moments later, the baby seal reunited with its mother, filling the frozen world with another joyful family reunion. As night fell, the beautiful northern lights painted the Arctic sky with magical colors. The baby polar bear laughed and played happily in the snow, finally free from fear. The little cub and the brave stickman played together, celebrating a friendship that would last forever. Standing together beneath the glowing northern lights, they admired the endless Arctic, knowing that kindness had turned strangers into family. As it was finally time to leave, the little polar bear gently hugged the brave stickman's leg, not wanting its hero to go. Smiling warmly, the stickman softly patted the cub's head one last time, knowing that some friendships never fade, no matter how far apart they are. The brave stickman quietly began walking away, leaving the little polar bear safely with its mother. Unable to say goodbye, the baby polar bear ran back for one last heartfelt hug. Smiling warmly, the stickman gently comforted the little cub before wishing it a happy life. The mother and her baby watched their hero disappear into the snowy distance with grateful heart. From the top of a snowy hill, the stickman looked back one final time, knowing his mission was complete. The polar bear family walked toward their home, while the lonely hero continued his own journey across the Arctic. The little cub turned around one last time, silently thanking the friend who had changed its life forever. A peaceful smile filled the stickman's face as he watched the happy family playing safely together. With the golden sunrise lighting the frozen world, the hero carried nothing home except unforgettable memories. Sometimes, the greatest heroes never ask for a reward. Their greatest victory is knowing a family is together again. And somewhere in the Arctic, a little polar bear will always remember the friend who saved its life.